Native American Cherokee Prophecies, the prophecy of the Rattlesnake, and the legend of the Keetoowahs. After the Hopi and the Mohawk prophecies, we're now looking at the Cherokee prophecies. The prophecy of the Rattlesnake. The stars above and its configuration hold time untime within its grasp upon all life, as all cultures sustain a zodiac system written upon time untime. So also the Chickamauga Cherokee of the Americas hold also the ancient zodiac of the heavens. Within the zodiac of the heavens of the Chickamauga Cherokee are etched ancient designs written upon and within the lines of seeing. The Cherokee zodiac is alive and moves and spins upon the rings of time untime, as the main outline remains its hold and its station in the sky of stars. Its movement within that frozen outline does indeed change with the movement of other elements. Elements within the rotations of planets, stars, and bodies of heavens. As other cultures station their zodiac as a permanent fixture, the Cherokee zodiac morphs or changes and becomes as if alive. Always alive, breathes, lives, and takes upon each constellation, its own deeming of things, time untime, and among those things, even prophecy. The constellations of the Chickamauga Cherokee are 13-fold, which contain the characterizations of many animals, mainly animals. Among the many designs configurations seen written upon the stars are the designs of animals, objects, and many other elements of time untime. The figures of the sky are totally different from other cultures of the zodiac, except for a rare few which seem to be similar. The only one which seems too relative to similarity is found within the Cherokee constellation Scorpion and Snake, and this in relation to others as Scorpio and Serpent. This is a story of only one of those constellations. This is of the Cherokee constellation Rattlesnake, and within this one constellation is found a prophecy. Within the Rattlesnake of the heavens is found time untime, foretold since the dawn of time. In the sky is found the figure of a snake, and upon this snake is the outline of a rattlesnake. Sometimes the serpent and the rattlesnake take on its bearing of one or the other, but the snake of the rattlesnake is its design. The Cherokee Rattlesnake constellation is not like other cultures of the world. The Cherokee rattlesnake in the heavens has a head and winds itself back and forth with its body, in the side winding itself to its tail. The boundary of the rattlesnake is unlike the boundaries of other zodiac cultures. In the heavens, the Pleiades star system is found as the tip of the rattlesnake's tail. The rattlesnake of the Cherokee is very sacred, and its sacredness is written upon even in the heavens. Upon the mouth of the rattlesnake is found 52 scales. These scales in number of 52 is written upon the calendar of the Cherokee and upon the wheels and rings of time untime, where time does not exist. The calendar of the Cherokee spins upon wheels and rings as a sophisticated dating system. A dating system that not only tells time events, people, places, and things, but also a very holy and sacred element within the Cherokee culture itself of all things. The stationary outline is always of a rattlesnake. However, upon the wheels of the Cherokee calendar is also found when, where, how, what, who in its changing and transformations. The transformation is not the changing of the shape of the rattlesnake, but the addition or subtraction of elements upon the snake itself. These things also tell the tales of the universe and all its bearing of what was, what is, and to be. On the Cherokee calendar, a great thing is foretold of things about to take shape within all things upon the earth, the heavens, and the universe. And the Rattlesnake constellation is one of those which speaks as a voice of time untime of things to be. Upon the Cherokee calendar rings, and written in the star constellation Rattlesnake, is a prophecy of time untime, and so it is thus foretold. When the earth sees the fingers of spear finger strike Jupiter, when the ages of the rings and wheels tell it is the ending of the ages of cycle of 5, this will be the sign of the whole earth, for all the earth will see this thing to wake up from sleep. These fingers that struck Jupiter was the comet fragments that hit Jupiter in the 1990s, and the whole earth took its majesty. This was a sign foretold on the calendar for the Cherokee people to wake up, to come out of sleep. The Cherokee calendar also speaks its voice telling that it's time, this time of the fingers striking Jupiter, that Orion's star system will awaken, and the Pleiades in Orion will war once again, as in old Jupiter and Venus will awaken to its destiny of time on time of cycles. Orion will war with Pleiades, Jupiter will war with Venus. In the year 2004 and 2012, an alignment took place on the Cherokee calendar in the heavens of the Rattlesnake constellation. It was a time of double-head serpent stick. It was the time of the red of Orion and Jupiter against white-blue of Pleiades and Venus. It was a time of the Uku's choosing, the time of the beloved woman and mysteries of the time untime, the time untime of the thunderbolt and the spirits of lightning mountains. And the years 2004 and 12, the Cherokee Rattlesnake constellation was to take on a different configuration. The snake itself to remain, however, upon the rattlesnake, to be added upon its head feathers, its eyes to open and glow, wings spring forth as a winged rattlesnake, and it would have hands and arms, and in the hands would be found a bowl. The bowl to hold blood upon its tail of 7 rattles should be the glowing and movement of the Pleiades. The rattlesnake to become the feathered rattlesnake or feathered serpent of time untime. And upon the rattlesnake is also the Milky Way, a crossing of the Milky Way to be seen at these times. For the center of the universe is what many know as the constellation Sagittarius by modern man, and upon this constellation of it also found the Pleiades star system, which is what is different in the boundaries of others and the Cherokee zodiac. The Milky Way is also a stone tree, and upon stone tree is a tree with a tree trunk, branches, a top, and even roots. The flower of the tree is also a tassel as corn, and upon the flower and the tree is the tree of life, I guess they meant. And the Cherokee calendar was to end the year 2012, well it didn't, and upon the times just prior shall be the feathered serpent and its prophecy, end quote. Well, obviously this prophecy is old and it didn't happen in 2012. Now upon the heavens design within the Cherokee Rattlesnake constellation, it is written, and upon the rings of time on time of the Cherokee calendar, it also says, behold the Rattlesnake constellation. Remember, the rings of the Cherokee calendar are read by the winding motion of the rattlesnake, to add or to subtract time on time, to move the wheels backward or forward, to add a wheel, to move the rings, to tell the tale what was, what is, and to be. The rattlesnake and its design telling the movements of the rings of time, and in the sky, heavens, and motions of movement of stars, planets, and life tell the tale of its bearing, for all is as the winding of the rattlesnake. And in the year 2004, this says here, the morning star first, in the year 2012, the evening star first, and upon those years, the crown of the feathered serpent was to bear its colors and honor. The hands to hold the bowl, the tail, the roots of a tree, and the Pleiades tree of the beginning. In the year 2004 and 12 would be the time untime of the feathered serpent of the sky heavens, and the rings to turn upon those years of prophecy foretold on the rings of time untime, and Keetoowahs Falls, Kentucky, to sing of Venus and the feathered rattlesnake. For it's not all the prophecy, not all the things thereof, for if it was meant for one to know, and I give only part, then you have received a great gift. For if I tell all, and it was not meant for one to know, then I have wasted my breath. For this is a sacred thing, the Venus alignment and the feathered serpent of the heavens. In the year 2012, the Cherokee calendar ends and all is reborn, they said, for the feathered rattlesnake comes and shall be seen in the heavens in the year 2004 to 12. It's related as the coming of Quetzalcoatl. The ancient Cherokee relate it as the coming of the Pale One once again. The rattlesnake constellation shall appear with the Venus alignment, the stars of heaven of Cherokee zodiac, the rings of the calendar. The Venus alignment tell the story of the Chickamaugan Cherokee prophecy, for they all are aligned in the year 2004 to 12. Now, the other prophecy, the monster with the white eyes, handed down as a traditional Cherokee story from grandmother to grandchild, the storyteller cautions that long ago, before the Europeans discovered Turtle Island and her indigenous people, the elders of those people warned of the monsters with white eyes yet to come. Similar stories are to be found among the Aztecs and Mexican peoples. The spirits foretold that the monster with the white eyes could cross the great eastern water. The monster would possess evil and terrifying power and would wreak destruction in its path. The spirits of animals and trees began to wither. Prophecy states that Mother Earth herself would be devastated and her heartbeat would become faint. The monster was said to devour the children of Turtle Island, tribe by tribe, with no escape, and if one did survive, its spirit would be dead, since it would now be lost and have no connection to its ancestors. And the story tells that one day the earth would begin to sing a death song due to the severity of the harsh conditions. And when this happens, the children of the people who followed the white-eyed monster to the island would look into their hearts and realize that they faced annihilation in the hands of their fathers. They would find that the spirits of the children of the tribes had been reborn, waiting to guide the children of the white-eyed monster. The few keepers of the faith would emerge, becoming strong enough to overcome the power of the white-eyed monster, restoring Mother Earth back to health. The children of the tribes of Turtle Island would lead the people back to the right way. The races would live in peace, the spirit of animals and trees would return to safety, and the monster with white eyes would fail to exist. Other such prophecies are found in the Cherokee legend of the white snake. And then we have the legend of the Keetoowahs. Cherokee occasionally refers to themselves as Kituwah, the people of Kituwah, after the ancient nucleus city of the Cherokee. The legend of the Keetoowahs placed the tribe on an island in the Atlantic Ocean, east of South America. 70 tribes attempted attack on the Keetoowahs, but the Keetoowahs were granted victory through the assistance of spirit warriors. So the legend goes. As the story tells us, Nerduergi, the last warrior of the attackers, was overlooking the valley camp below from upon a mountaintop when he saw smoke arising from the camp that extended up beyond the clouds, divided into 3 parts, with an arrow-holding eagle in the center. The warrior and his followers witnessed this miraculous event. Nerduergi then ordered his warriors not to attack the Keetoowahs, for they were protected, and if attacked, the warrior knew he would surely be destroyed. The Great Spirit granted the Keetoowahs a grand mysterious power, not only to be utilized in the best interest of their people, however, only to be utilized in the best interest of the people. However, some of the wise people began to use their wisdom for unfruitful purposes. The Great Spirit instructed them to take their white fire and move away, heading to Asia, India, and North America. Some of the large cities, the new travelers claimed, sank into the ocean and were no more. Doesn't it sound like the lost continent of Atlantis and the very advanced technology of the Atlanteans? Legend has it, the Great Spirit turned the peoples of America and guided them. They too began to violate their teachings by committing murders and feuding with the 7 clans. The 7 clans, with their medicine men, met around a fire to request guidance from the Great Spirit. The most truthful 7 holy men selflessly gave of themselves for the tribe. They carried medicine, deerskin, and medicine tobacco. The medicine men speared out the deerskin and prayed. They spread out the deerskin and prayed. They blew smoke over the deerskin and watched the smoke trails for a sign from the Great Spirit. Inspiration led the medicine man to travel up the top of the mountain each day, one new medicine man for 7 days. On day 7, the messenger came down from the Great Spirit, appeared in a bright light, and stated that the Great Spirit heard the prayers of the medicine men and held passion for their people. First, the men were told that they would someday fly in the air. The messenger warned of an enemy white ball from the east traveling their way, but that their grandchildren's feet were facing towards Tusginai, west, the ghost land. The messenger warned of trials at the edge of the prairie, with tribes dividing into different factions and their blood evolving into only half of their heritage. The messenger forewarned that families would divide and disregard chiefs, leaders, and medicine men. The schools would teach important knowledge to all the people, and the young would return to point rudely at the elders. However, if the younger generations would heed the Great Spirit's instruction, a chance would exist for people to turn back east. Otherwise, they would go to Tusginai, then to the coast, then leave by boat, never to return. They were given the Kituwah namesake and were instructed to return to their fire for worship and prophecy to their people. And this was from Crystal Link's Cherokee Prophecy. I'll leave a link below for you for this. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.